A little over a month ago, I revisited Cyberpunk 2077. I upgraded digitally to the PS5 version, and upon doing so, I realized that despite completing the main story back when the game first came out, there were a lot of side quests I still haven't finished, so I decided to play through those before downloading Phantom Liberty. Returning to the gameplay after almost 4 years, it took me a little over an hour to remember how everything worked. After completing some side gigs, I felt comfortable with the controls and was back to my normal routine. My equipped armament consisted of the Arasaka Jinchumaru, Her Majesty, and a custom D5. Throughout my gameplay, I prioritized sword combat, slicing up enemies up close and deflecting their bullets from afar. If the sword defense was timed correctly, bullets were sent right back into any nearby enemies. I also sported a forearm projectile launch system implant that specialized in dealing massive physical damage for whenever I thought it was necessary to blast someone. It was a bit risky to use at times because I never really figured out how to recall it, and if there were any people around, they'd freak the fuck out even if I fired it up at the sky. The final weapon I crafted during my playthrough was the Erebus, and I was a bit sad I didn't craft it sooner because it was definitely in a league of its own. I completely forgot that I didn't complete a lot of the important side character missions, so those were my first priority. I really enjoyed River's side quest of solving the case of who kidnapped his nephew. It was interesting playing through this crime investigation, utilizing the manipulation of Braindance technology to figure out the suspect's location, while also getting a glimpse into his own personal history. I was also surprised with how much Carrie Uridine grew on me by the end of his side mission. Then there was Panam with her Fast and Furious Mad Max-esque mission. It's amazing how she can be super chill one second and absolutely lose her shit the next. Starting the Phantom Liberty DLC, I did not trust Songbird one bit, but decided to follow through with her proposal because I paid for this DLC. It was difficult for me to decide how to proceed with the story, and was, for the most part, indifferent with my ending. The only difficult portion of the DLC was towards the final level, where you're getting chased around by the demonic Tachikoma. This set me into little bitch mode, but I made it through despite all the screaming and pausing. I reached a point in the DLC where I had the option to give up Johnny for a chance to live longer. I thought about it for about 2 seconds and decided I really didn't care too much for my character's self-preservation. I'll fucking die with my best friend in my brain and live out the rest of my days like they're my last. I read a summary of all the possible outcomes of the DLC, and in the end, they're all quite bleak. The DLC also introduced the everlasting Stolo missions. I seriously got sucked into completing these missions whenever they popped up, so much so that after completing so many, I barely had to pay anything for brand new rides. Aimlessly riding my motorcycle around the game's world was always and remains my favorite thing to do. I really just looked around, just amazed that the game looks so good. I unlocked all the motorcycles I found aesthetically pleasing and deemed the Nazare to be my favorite because of its smooth handling and because it matched my fit. I'm glad that I returned to Cyberpunk 2077 for the DLC, because once I got back into it, I fell in love with the world again and instantly remembered why I put so many hours into it in the first place.